time, please rise for the national anthem. Please be seated and remain seated for the processional of the seniors. It is my pleasure to now introduce the District 10 Board of Education President, Mr. Michael Zilla.
Good morning. On behalf of the Gordon-Rushville School Board, I'd like to finally welcome you to the 2020 graduation. It's a beautiful graduation morning, and it's a great community. You probably noticed by now that we're not sitting at the gym at the high school. I want to thank the Sheridan County Fair Board for letting us use their venue. We needed an outdoor venue in order to have this, so we appreciate everybody for allowing us to use this place. If it wouldn't have been for their cooperation, we probably wouldn't have had a ceremony for the graduates. So again, thanks to the Fair Board. I'd also like to thank Sheridan County Journal-Star for broadcasting the event live on YouTube. I know we're still living on capacity even though we're at a large venue, but those folks that couldn't make it can at least watch it on YouTube. I'd like to thank the administration, the staff, the counselors for putting together a plan so we can have the graduation ceremony, getting that approved through Pan Out of Public Health, so we can be here today. I'd also like to thank Alton, Chad Allison, and his crew for getting all this stuff set up. The trailer I'm standing on, the chairs. I know they made numerous trips back and forth from the school to here to get everything set up. I'd like to thank the community. You've been great over the past few months. You've done things for the graduates to honor them in your own ways with the parades and the banners that were up in both towns. And finally, I'd like to thank the graduates and their families. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for being patient. I'm glad we finally get a chance to honor you on this day. Thank you.
I would now like to welcome Mrs. Simmons and Mrs. Pint to present the Class Scholarship Award.
Good morning. We would like to begin by recognizing the following students who are members of the National Honor Society. The National Honor Society is a select group of students who have been selected based on their scholarship, leadership, character, and service. The following seniors are members in good standing of the Gordon-Rushville chapter of National Honor Society. They are distinguished by the white stoles worn on their robes. Will the students and their parents please rise as we call your names? Please hold your applause until all names have been announced. Grace Anderson, Ashley Bagan, Beth Bragg, Sierra Garrett, Castle Gunwalt, Michaela Jaggers, Brock Meeks, Aspen Ritgarn, Maddie Schmidt, Tucker Schott, Caitlin Schwarting, Josh Scherer, and Caden Vincent.
This year, Gordon-Rushville High School has 28 graduates who will be attending a post-secondary institution, 2 that have enlisted in the military, and 9 pursuing other endeavors. It is with great pleasure to inform you that we have 2 students who have enlisted in the United States military. Due to those requirements, they are unable to be in attendance today. Jamison Fuller has enlisted in the United States Navy. Kaylin Jansen has enlisted in the Nebraska National Guard. Please help us in recognizing them both. Will the following students pursuing other endeavors please rise? Abigail Compton, Michaela Fankhauser, Chad Graff, Connor Halverson, Brooklyn Hathorn, Gail Kelly, Shailene Landreth, Max Ming, Ty Taylor. At this time, we would like to recognize the recipient of our postgraduate scholarship. Berkeley Hagg has received the Wilner Family Postgraduate Scholarship. Would Berkeley please stand to be recognized if you are in attendance?
At this time, we would like to recognize all of those students who are receiving scholarships. As your names are called, please stand. We ask that you refer to your program for the students' individual scholarships and awards. We would like to thank our communities for their generous scholarship gifts, and we ask that you continue to support us in the years to come. Grace Anderson, Ashley Bagan, Marie Bedelian, Raylene Black Elk, Beth Bragg, Juan Dela Cruz, Adriana Fresquez, Brianna Fresquez, Jamison Fuller, Sierra Garrett, Castle Gunwall, Connor Halverson, Ellery Hill, Michaela Jaggers, Kaylin Jansen, Evan Jones Hazeldine, Brock Meeks, Sarah Meisner, Kylie Plentywounds, Nate Pomalis, Aspen Ritgarn, Charlize Runninghawk, Maddie Schmidt, Tucker Schott, Caitlin Caitlin Schwarting, Josie Shadbolt, Josh Scherer, Riley Snyder, Trendon Starr, Jackson Thies, and Caden Vincent.
At this time, we would like to recognize the students in the top 10% of their senior class. Wood Aspen Ritgarn, Tucker Schott, Michaela Jaggers, Maddie Schmidt, Sierra Garrett, Ashley Began, and Grace Anderson come to the front of the stage in the order that your name was called. As each of these students are recognized, we would like their parents to stand and be recognized as well. Aspen Ritgarn ranks 4th in her class with a grade point average of 3.893. Aspen is the daughter of Chad and Sarah Ritgarn. Tucker Schott ranks 3rd in his class with a grade point average of 3.927. Tucker is the son of Bobby and Lynn Schott. Michaela Jaggers ranks 2nd in her class with a grade point average of 3.982. Michaela is the daughter of Jeff and Melissa Jaggers. Gordon-Rushville High School's 2020 valedictorians are Grace Anderson, Ashley Began, Sierra Garrett, and Maddie Schmidt. They all rank 1st of 39 students with a grade point average of 4.0. Maddie is the daughter of Todd and Amy Schmidt. Sierra is the daughter of Wendy Youngie and Philip Garrett. Ashley is the daughter of Robbie and Shelly Began. Grace is the daughter of Travis and Angela Anderson. Please join us again in celebrating their success.
One of my duties today as high school principal is to introduce our speakers. Our commencement speakers are the top scholars in the senior class. The young women speaking today hold the distinction of maintaining a 4.0 grade point average. It is the tradition that valedictorians be given the opportunity to address their classmates and the public at today's ceremony. Today our 4 valedictorians are Grace Anderson, Ashley Began, Sierra Garrett, and Maddie Schmidt. It is my pleasure to now introduce Gordon-Rushville High School's first valedictorian speaker, Ms. Grace Anderson.
The definition of a high school graduate is an individual who's received a high school diploma for successfully completing the necessary studies. Yes, all of us have taken the classes we needed to take and got the grades we needed to get to be where we are today. But there is a lot more to a high school graduate than the necessary studies. Some days were harder than others, and some of us barely got by, but memories were made every day. Being a high school graduate means that you walked those high school hallways, sat in those classroom desks, and ate in the cafeteria. Art, choir, band, Spanish, foods, woods, welding, and many other classes are not necessary to be a high school graduate, but we take them because we want to and because we make memories by being in those classes. In these classes, we got closer with new people and got to do something we enjoyed. We didn't have much time in between classes, but it was enough time to talk to friends and ask somebody for a piece of gum. Lunch was when we all got to talk to our friends and be on our phones. We all couldn't wait to tell each other what happened over the weekend or in the last class. Another way some of us added to our high school experience was by joining different activities and clubs. Staying at the school late for sports, speech practice, or play practice was part of being involved. Going home late on the bus, you knew you were going to be tired the next day at school, but that didn't matter. Instead of sleeping, memories were made blasting music and laughing with all your friends. These late nights made us closer as teammates and made memories we would never forget as friends. Prom and homecoming are two of the most fun parts of the school year. I will never forget dressing up with my friends and classmates for homecoming week. Decorating the sheet as a class is always rushed, but somehow all of them still get done. They all turn out so good, even though we all know the seniors always win. The bonfire the night before the dance is a blast. We all eat s'mores, take thousands of pictures, and always get way too close to the fire. The next day at the parade, the whole community comes together to support the football boys. If you are lucky, you get to go up to the stage and talk, or if you are staff, you might get the chance to kiss a pig. And of course, there are the other pep rallies throughout the school year, where we can always count on the cheerleaders to lead us in a good chant and the games that everyone always gets a good laugh about. Everyone has dreaded their name being called, but once they get out there, they end up having fun and embarrassing themselves. Prom is one of the last things before school gets out, and it means the summer is finally close. The juniors work really hard to make prom beautiful and special for the seniors. Before the dance, the juniors and seniors get to have supper with all of their friends. Some of the teachers go, and they take tons of pictures of us kids. After the dance, we all stay up until 4 in the morning or later. We get tons of prizes and drink a lot of coffee at post-prom. Most people then go watch the sunrise with their friends. And finally, the last big event, graduation. This is where we all stop being high schoolers, and it is time for us to grow up and become adults. We will now be on our own and on our way to make new memories wherever we choose to go after this. All of our high school memories have been made. These are a few of the many things that added to our high school experience over our 4 years. So, underclassmen, while becoming a high school graduate, don't forget about all the memories you are making along the way. To all my fellow high school graduates, underclassmen, and others along the way, thank you for being a part of my high school experience.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Gordon-Rushville High School's second valedictorian speaker, Ms. Ashley Bacon.
Hello, as you all know, my name is Ashley. But what most of you don't know is I'm not one to want to get up and give a speech in front of a room of 5 people, let alone a crowd at a graduation ceremony. But here I am doing something I never thought I could, because of something I never thought I'd become. One of the 2020 class valedictorians. Coming into high school, I was a completely different person. I was way more shy, not as talkative, and I was really kind of scared of the seniors. But now, being a senior, we really aren't that bad. Most of us find a way to have fun, get our work done, and do extracurricular activities all at the same time. I am one of those people, and I have done just about everything from attempting to play basketball my sophomore year for the very first time ever, to staying up until 11:59 p.m. to finish one of the papers we already got 3 extensions on. We all have those days, but it never really was a challenge for me to keep pushing and thriving in school despite those obstacles. In all of this, I one being not to procrastinate, because it feels a whole lot better and nicer to be done early rather than scrambling to get things done at the last minute. Number two, being it is never too late to start doing or trying new things, or even to make new friends and hang out with new people. For me personally, I have created so many friendships with all grades and people, some of which are the reason I am who I am today. People have helped me come out of my little shell and experience new things. Number three goes along with the last two, being that it is not hard to create a balanced life between friends, family, sports, and school. It just takes work and a drive to want them all. And trust me, it has taken all of those friends for us to all make it to where we are. But as much as we see it or not, the teachers, school staff, and administration have made a huge impact on us as well. From the teachers that dealt with us through elementary and middle school to the teachers we have walked through the halls with for the past 4 years, to the counselors that have helped us with the scholarships and having all of our things in the right place at the right time. They have all been behind us 100% of the time, and for that I am grateful, because without them, who knows where we would all be. But hey, it's because of them and because of us we are getting our diplomas even through all this craziness. I would not want to do any of this with a different group of people than I am with right now. Together we have made so many memories, and we all can remember them, both good and bad. Those memories are what we are going to keep with us when we go to create new memories with new people and new places. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Gordon-Rushville High School's third valedictorian speaker, Ms. Sierra Garrett.
We've all heard the phrase, these 4 years are going to fly, and before you know it, you'll be graduating. But we didn't ever let it sink in that they were right. And by me confessing you were right, I don't need to be hit with the I told you so. That's totally deserved. We also heard the you get out what you put in speech several times, and lots of us took that in different ways. For some, it was wanting good grades that made us put in the time and effort, and for lots of us, it was the fact that we wanted fun. And so fun is what we put in, and fun is what we got out. Though the speech was the same, the interpretations were much different. But that's what the class of 2020 is all about. We are all different people with our own special talents and our own ways of doing things. Sure, we all got along, but we didn't try to be one another. If that were the case, we would all be trying to be some famous bull rider too. But we didn't. We just sat back and cheered on our classmates, accomplishment after accomplishment, time and time again. Want to know how? Well, it's simple. We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. But do you? Every valedictorian speech talks about what we've accomplished, what we'd missed, our journey, and all that sappy stuff. But seeing as how you've heard all that, I figured I'd save you some time. What I will say, though, is that the class of 2020 will never be forgotten. We came into high school and we were feared. Not feared by upperclassmen because we were tiny, but by our teachers. They didn't think they could handle such a rowdy bunch, but boy were they wrong. They tied us down and made us settle. They got us interested in learning, mostly. And even though they thought we were so immature, like any other group of freshmen, they watched us grow into who we are now. Now don't get me wrong, we aren't fully mature yet, but we are bigger and better people. From start to finish, we made relationships with people in the community and our teachers that made us really thankful for this small town. We came from being those tiny freshmen that everyone thought were going to be too much, to being the seniors that nobody wanted to let go of. We needed a few pushes here and there, but the class of 2020 showed talents that nobody even knew we had. We stood by our classmates when tough times were going on in their lives. We cheered on our classmates when they shredded a guitar or they scored a 27 on their ACT. We supported our classmates when they decided to try something new, and we stood by them while they did it. Sure, we might not all have liked each other to the fullest, but that didn't matter. We were a class, and therefore, we made an effort to stay a civilized and supporting one. And you want to know how we did that? Well, we got spirit. Yeah, we do. We got spirit. But do you? What class can honestly say that they've had one of the most memorable senior years besides us? Not only did we get the most memorable good times, but we've had one of the most memorable stressful times too. Oh yeah, COVID-19. You knew I was going to talk about it. Class of 2020, we keep getting told that we're living through a memorable time, a time that will go down in history. But do you think it takes the sting away from everything else that we're living through right now? Of course not. We didn't get our senior prom, our last track meet, our last golf tournament, a final bow in the spring play, an awards night to thank our coaches and say goodbye, or a final day to wave to our teachers and tell them we love them. We didn't have that, but we kept a smile on our faces and we tried to make the best of it. And you know how we did that? Well, we got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. But do you? Spirit isn't easy to teach, but when you're the class of 2020 and you go through what no other class has, well, you know you have it. Also, your valedictorian's a cheerleader, so what else did you expect my speech to say? Now, we go on our own journeys and we do our own things without our classmates. Sure, we might check up on each other, and maybe some of us will stay real close. But if we don't, there will always be one thing that ties us all together. The class of 2020 will forever have the spirit. But will you?
It is now my pleasure to introduce Gordon-Rushville High School's final valedictorian speaker, Miss Maddie Schmidt.
Now, I was really struggling trying to start this because I didn't know if people would be seeing it through a screen or be hearing this in person. But let's be honest, I had no idea what I was going to say besides welcome. So I did what anyone else would do and looked up valedictorian speeches and what to put in a valedictorian speech, and oddly enough, on no circumstances am I supposed to talk about the Webster Dictionary. But I promise you that even though I had no idea what I was doing, that was not my plan. But trying to write this speech reminded me a lot of how I was coming into high school. Completely clueless. Never in a million years did I expect to make relationships with people that could last a lifetime. For example, I did not know that some of my best memories of high school would be of sophomore year when Evan ripped his pants on stage during one of our performances. Or my junior year when we all thought we were going to get possessed by the boiler room of the Clinton School, while people thought they were talking to spirits. And until recently, I don't think any of us knew how much we really cared for each other. When people say enjoy the little things, they mean it. I mean, I never thought that I would miss hearing Connor and Caden shout it high from the third floor while he's on his way to the first, or hear bugs from across the hall. But not only do we share an unbreakable bond, we are all driven and hardworking individuals, which is fairly obvious when you have to listen to 4 valedictorian speeches. I mean, as freshmen, we won the Spirit Stick at a pep rally, and freshmen don't win the Spirit Stick, let alone compete for it. We're also determined, and that's how I know that we are destined for greatness. Apart from succeeding because of our determination, the amazing staff at GRHS has been a great support group throughout the years. How many coaches do you know that would walk on the track and hand you their glove, watch you puke in it, and walk it off the track seconds before your race? I'll never forget you, Mr. Hag. Or teachers that let you and your friends sit in her room for hours on end, solving first world problems and complaining about teenage drama. If retirement doesn't work out, Mrs. J, you have a future in the counseling field. And a huge shout out is in order for Mrs. Simmons for answering frantic, sometimes last minute, questions via email and text. What will we do next year without you? Now, I could go on and on about the countless memories I have about GRHS, but I'm going to take this time to thank a few people for helping me and my fellow classmates along this wild ride. First, I would like to thank the staff at GRHS and our community for all of their support and always helping out in times of need. I'd also like to thank all of our parents for believing in us and always being there to give us words of encouragement through the tough times. And lastly, I'd like to thank my classmates for not only putting up with me through the years, but for giving me memories that I will cherish forever. Finally, I'd like to leave you all with some famous quotes heard on any typical day at GRHS. "That sucked," by Mrs. Johnson. "Now, Riley, you know I can't do that," by Mr. Livingston. "The bell doesn't dismiss you, I do," by Mrs. Heiser. "Right on, man," by Mr. Lovell. "But it's just not that simple," by Mr. Morris. "Be an athlete," by Mr. Bowker. "Well, did you fact check it?" by Ms. Haddon. "Has anyone seen my keys?" Coach Kim. And I hope I don't butcher this last one, Señor Lorita, but adios clase 2020.
Members of the senior class, please rise. Ms. Liggett and Mr. Ziller, as superintendent of schools and president of the Board of Education, you are the representatives of the Gordon-Rushville Public Schools District Number 10. I therefore declare to you that the members of this class have met the requirements for graduation prescribed by the state of Nebraska, Rule 10, and the Gordon-Rushville Public Schools Board of Education policy. It is now my privilege to present to you for the acknowledgement of the completion of those stated requirements by the presentation of a diploma to the Gordon-Rushville High School class of 2020. Seniors, you may be seated. Graduates will be presented in alphabetical order with our first graduate, Grace Anderson, who is also the senior class president. After receiving their diploma, each graduate will turn their tassel, acknowledging the completion of their high school career. Grace, you may go ahead. Grace Laney Anderson. Maria Noel Bediou. Lucille Blackout. Beth Sue Arnett Bragg. Abigail Gabrielle Campolone. Carlos de la Cruz. Michaela Hope Bankhauser. Adriana Taylor Fresquez. Brianna Jordan Fresquez. W. Graff. Castle Stace Swinney Ruiz. Connor Joseph Halverson. Brooklyn Nicole Hathorn. Elry Martin Hill. Michaela Rose Jagger. Kaylin Marie Jansen. Evan Michael Jones Hazeldine. Gail Lee Kelly. Shailene Rose Andrews. Brock James Meeks. Maximilian George May. Sarah Morgan Meisner. Kylie Alexandra Pluntywound. Nathaniel Joseph Pomales. Aspen Marie Ritgard. Charlize Aaliyah Hope Running Hawk. Maddie Lane Schmidt.
Good job, Maddie! Yeah!
Tucker Lane Schott. Caitlin J. Shorty. Josie Madison Shadbolt. Joshua D. Sher. Riley G. Schneider. Brendan Michael Starr. Ty Taylor. Jackson Hamilton Deese. Hayden Roger Vincent. Congratulations to all of the graduates. Our final speaker today follows the tradition of allowing the senior class president to give a farewell message to the graduating class and all gathered here to celebrate this day. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the senior class president, Ms. Grace.
As this long-awaited ceremony comes to a close, I congratulate all my fellow graduates. I can't wait to see the amazing things all of you will accomplish in your futures. To the families and friends of the graduates, I want to take a second to thank you all for coming. It means a lot to all of us for you to be here today. Your endless support through everything is very appreciated and will never be forgotten. Hope everyone has a great rest of their summer. Class of 2020, my classmates, my best friends, good luck in your future endeavors, and just know you'll always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you.
Gordon-Rushville High School 2020 graduates, please stand.